Oh, hello. You must be the students from West Wilkes Middle School. Heard so much about you. My name is Lee Taylor. I'm sitting on my porch here in Wilkesboro, having a lovely Sunday afternoon and relaxing. I grew up in Lynchburg, Virginia. When I was about 12, my father bought a farm and we moved there. He had an insurance agency in town, so my brother, who was 18 months older than me, and I planted, harvested, took care of the cattle, and did the whole thing. As for me, I just loved riding anything that was heavy equipment. That was okay. I liked that a lot. One of the things I learned on the farm is how to fix things yourself, and that stayed with me my whole life. I then went to high school a little later at E.C. Glass High School in Lynchburg, and graduated, knocked around for a year, didn't know what I wanted to do, so I joined the Army. I figured the Army had a lot of ways to go, and I went and the recruiter gave me a whole list of jobs, if I enlisted, that I could choose from. And for those of you who don't know what you want to do, if you think you want to be an electrician, they'll train you. You think you want to learn how to work on computers, they'll train you. So I would urge you, if you don't know your direction, to go and see an Army recruiter or a Navy recruiter or an Air Force recruiter and ask if they have a job listing in an interest area of yours. After I joined the Army, it was interesting. I did basic training, of course, everybody does. A lot of people hated it. I loved it. It was exercise, running, shouting, shooting guns. It was great. And then I went to Fort Sam Houston, Texas for medic training. I was going to be a combat medic, they thought, but I went on to a graduate school the Army had for psychiatric counseling. And that's what I did in the Army. This was during Vietnam. I took care of boys and girls coming back from Vietnam that could not transition from what they were facing every day into normal life as we know it here in America. And most of them we sent home in good shape. Some of them were badly damaged psychologically and could not make it. But the Army is still taking care of them and will for their whole lives. The Army taught me a lot of things. One was how to be a team player, because I'll tell you, if you're out in a life-threatening situation, you want to have a team around you that you can depend on. They teach you how to do that. They teach you various survival skills. They teach you how to operate different equipment. It was very interesting to me. I loved the Army. I had a good time there. I stayed for 3 years. I got out, got the GI Bill. I went to college. I went to a couple of graduate schools, and then went to work a lot of years, mostly banking or investments. I was married, had 2 stepchildren. My first wife passed away at 52 from a heart attack. And I took early retirement a year later and rode my motorcycle around the country for 3 years. And what I found out was I already had all the answers. I didn't have to go looking for them. Sometimes you have to take a step back. After I did that, my neighbor across the street asked me to come and work for her at a local college to raise money. And she said, now you're going to have to work 3 years before you can get anybody to give you anything, because it takes that long for people to trust you. Well, I had $25 million in 2 years for them, and I had a lot of fun getting it. I then went to Lynchburg College, which was my alma mater. They had heard I was doing well over there. They asked me to do something, same thing, 2 years, $22 million. It was good. During that time, I met my wife, Susan Pillsbury, I met her at a restaurant when I was in Greensboro working one day, and saw her across the room. Asked her if I could buy her a cup of coffee, and she said sure. And I've been fixing coffee for her ever since. It's been a wonderful thing. Susie is a Methodist minister, and we have been in Greensboro, Asheville, Winston-Salem, and now the Wilkesboro area. I'm retired. She's approaching it, but she's not ready yet. And we bought a house here because this is where we want to be. We love Wilkesboro so much that we'll spend the rest of our days here. Right now, just to keep busy, I'm running for town council. Who knows how that's going to go? And whichever way it goes, I've had a good learning experience. It's been good for me. I would ask all of you, going back to the Army thing a little bit, to be extra considerate of veterans or anybody who have served in the service and have now come home, and a lot of them have PTSD, post-traumatic distress syndrome, which makes it very difficult for them to hold a job or get anything. Some just carry over sicknesses from the Army. You can see them sometimes, in McDonald's or someplace like that. You can see them on the street. You can find out about them at organizations like VFW, Veterans of Foreign Wars. I urge you to find out who your veterans are, because these are the people that joined the military and pledged their lives so that the rest of us could have a good standard of living. Please look out for our veterans. I can guarantee you, they've surely looked out for you. Well, I can see my wife's coming up to pick me up, so I guess I better go, because she wants to go get a cup of coffee at Starbucks. And I hope I can see each and every one of you very soon. Thank you for letting me talk to you.